morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fowler Behind the Wheel. I'm your host, Mr. Fowler. I wanted to update y'all a little bit. So my last video was a 1 month review. I talked about getting the inverter upgraded and doing something about the refrigerator situation. I had a guy comment on the last video. You could just get a plug-in freezer. A little something small to put in the truck, but something like that is big and bulky, and I don't necessarily want something like that in the truck just because of that simple fact that it's big and bulky. So I'm just gonna upgrade the fridge. I did call GP Transco. I talked to somebody in the maintenance department about it, and they said if that's something that I want to do, I'm more than welcome to do it. They told me that what they do is they go to like Home Depot or whatever, and they just buy up all the mini fridges that they got. They stock up on them, and they put them in the truck. So, that's nice and all, but, like for my situation, I want something that I can store more food in and freeze. So, I'm going to get something that is more appetizing to my taste. I did ask him if that was something that they would reimburse me on. He didn't really know, so he's going to check. But also, they did say that they do have 3,000 watt inverters. So that would give me an extra 500 watts from what I got now. He said they really don't go any more than that, because then I hate it when people, I'm on a 70 mile an hour road instead of doing like 50, 55. I hate that. But anyway, he said when they get up above 3,000 watts, the battery cable cords that connect to it, they get bigger. And they're using like a 0 gauge electric wire, which is great. That's really what you want to be using. But when they go bigger, so does the cable. And he said they don't really have the tools to be upgrading the wires and stuff like that. There'd be drilling and stuff like that. But surely they got drill tools. But, I get it. They don't want to rewire everything. But, anyway. So I'm going to get an upgraded inverter. They said they didn't have any problem upgrading it to, meet my needs. So that's awesome. A lot of other trucking companies will be like, nah, that's what you got. That's what we're going to leave in there. You're just going to have to work around it. But not GP Transco. GP Transco is going to upgrade it to their max inverter for me. And, hopefully that'll give me what I need to work with, the electric skillet and stuff like that. That's another reason why I don't want to get an electric freezer, is because it'll just draw off more power of the inverter. It's probably getting maxed out right now anyway, mainly because of the fridge. But that's something that I'm going to be on the lookout for, is a refrigerator freezer combo that draws, small wattage. just see what we can find. But GP Transco is willing to work with me on that, so I'm really happy. I'm on my way to Wisconsin right now. Yesterday, I got unloaded. I was picking up a load from the same place I was delivering to. So that was awesome. That's been the case for the past 3 loads, I think. Started in Wabash, went to Nebraska. I got to Nebraska. They had a preloaded trailer sitting there waiting for me. So I just dropped and hooked. Came back to Wabash. Another drop and hook. Had a preloaded trailer waiting on me there. From Wabash, I went to Baldwinsville, New York. Drop and hook. It was awesome. Now I'm on my way to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is the Wabash, Nebraska, and Baldwinsville were all the same company. Where I'm going to now is not the same company. So it's going to be a live unload, pretty sure. These last few dropping hooks that I've had, they had a broad delivery window and a broad ship window. So that was nice. I still tried to get there as quick as I could. Still ended up being late because I got screwed up on my first trip out of Wabash. Really nobody's fault. It's just one of those things that happens. Pickup numbers get screwed up and all that good stuff. But anyway, we're headed to Wisconsin. We're going to get these boxes or whatever off of me. And I should be due for a reset. I'll probably have more time, but if I can just go ahead and get the reset out the way tomorrow, that'd be great, or at least start it tomorrow. It's not going to be too long of a drive going from Fort Washington, Wisconsin to Joliet, Illinois. So hopefully I can be there tomorrow night. That'd be great. I gotta get some laundry done. I gotta get some dishes washed. I've been getting lazy on washing my dishes, but it's no big deal. At least at GP Transco, they've got that kitchen area. If you look at my past video of the tour of GP Transco, they got a kitchen area, so I can go in there and wash some dishes, no big deal. That would be great. Get the inverter done. I might go ahead and try and get a refrigerator while I'm there. I haven't decided yet. I kind of want to get one at Sam's Club if Sam's Club has a good one, because I got a Sam's Club membership, but my wife has the membership card at home. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But kind of wanted to ask y'all a question today. You know, when you're on these long trips, what do you do to pass the time? Now for me, I used to listen to Pandora all the time. You know, I got to listen to the music I wanted. And, you know, GP Transco doesn't have a Sirius XM account, so you don't get Sirius XM in the truck. They did say you can pay for it if you want it. So, excuse me. That would be something that would be nice to have. I could probably get a tax write-off on it, because it is for work. But I don't know. I like to listen on Sirius XM radio. What is it? Truck Dog Radio or something like that. Road Dog, Sirius XM channel. Nothing but trucking stuff. Late at night, they got a guy that comes on. Got a really, really good show, but he comes on kind of late at night. and I'm not on that schedule anymore, so that wouldn't be something that I would be able to listen to. But they also got good music stations to listen to. Now I pretty much listen to everything but gospel music. I don't listen to pop country. I wish that Luke Bryant would get deported out of the country. But that's just me. Florida Georgia panty line as well. You know, I like the old country music, like back in the 70s and 80s and early 90s. Some of the early 2000s is alright, but that's just me. That's my preference. I like to listen to hard rock, metal, stuff like that. And music helps, you know, the time go by and whatever. But then I started getting into podcasts. I really like this podcast. I got a bunch of podcasts that I listen to. I'm a big history buff. I like to listen to early U.S. history. I'm really big into the war between the states, War of Northern Aggression, I like to call it, proper term. I'm really big into stuff like that. I'm pretty well into world history as well. There's a great podcast called Irish Podcast. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, that podcast in particular talks about the early formation of Ireland and just goes on from there. If you're a fan of the History Channel series Vikings, I loved it. I hope that they're going to come out with some more episodes. But a lot of what the Irish History Podcast, they go over a lot about what was actually in that series to an actual historical, periodically correct history. And the Vikings, Normans, invasion of Ireland, going to war, you know, all that stuff. Dublin was actually formed by the Vikings, and they kind of learned to commingle after a certain point. But there's that. I can listen to that for hours. That really helps the time go by. Brian McClanahan, he's a history professor. He's actually got a doctorate in history, so it's Dr. Brian McClanahan. He's really cool. Abbeville Institute has a podcast, which Brian McClanahan hosts. It's really cool. There's a lot of really neat podcasts out there, and recently I just started getting into it. There's a whole world of podcasts out there. It's really cool. You can learn a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of it's really, really entertaining, so it really helps the time go by. And on these long drives, you know, that's something that you want. You can get so bored. I don't care how much scenery is out there. You can get so bored just driving down the road, looking out the window, and not really, nothing interesting to look at. And, you know, listening to a good podcast is kind of like watching a good TV show. So, I've gotten pretty big into some podcasts. There is another app called Audible. It's an audiobook podcast that I've recently come into. I've recently subscribed to it. I've already listened to like 10 or 15 books, and I ain't had it for maybe a month. But I've really come into a huge interest on books. You know, there's a lot of good history books out there to listen to. Even good story books. Nothing passes the time like a good storybook. You know, whatever your genre you want to listen to, I tend to keep it around history, and I like post-apocalyptic stuff. So, The Stand is what I'm listening to now. And to be quite honest, it's a Stephen King book. They've actually made a TV series out of it. But it's just now starting to catch my interest. It's like a 48-hour listen. And it's just now starting to keep my interest. You know, I paid for the book, so I'm going to listen to it through. But the storyline was just too dry for me. It's starting to pick up a bit, but I'm going to tell you right now, sorry, I'm going through some bumpy ass roads. If you want to listen to a really, really good post-apocalyptic storybook, there's 3 books. 1 second after, 1 day after, and it's 1 second after, 1 year after, and the final day. Those books right there, 1 second after actually started the huge prepper movement. And after listening to it, I found out why. And it really makes me want to get into it, because it's based on the location of the storyline is based out of Black Mountain, North Carolina. And the United States of America gets hit with an EMP. And all hell breaks loose. Well, it's a really good storyline. It's a really good story, period. I'm pretty sure, as of right now, that's going to be one of my all-time favorite books. And 1 year after, and the final day, kept me just as hooked as the first book did. And I hope one day they make a really good movie out of it that actually follows the storyline to a good degree, because it was an awesome book. So I rarely listen to the radio anymore, but 1 second after, 1 year after, the final day, a couple of history books, podcasts. You know, those are my main sources of entertainment while I'm driving. And my day is done like that. I mean, it's bam. You just get lost in a story. It's awesome. So I would highly recommend that everybody get an Audible account. So many awesome books on there. And they're adding a bunch all the time. That's my main source of entertainment. I haven't really listened to any podcasts in a while, mainly because I've been listening to books. But that's how I keep myself entertained. I'm curious to know how y'all keep yourselves entertained. You know, what do you do when you're driving down the road? You know, a lot of the times I'll go down the road and I'll see a bunch of dumbasses. They've got their phone somewhere on the window or up here in the dash, or they're sitting somewhere tilted sideways watching a movie or whatever. Why are you doing that? That is a huge ticket. You can lose your job, you can lose your license. If you ain't paying attention to the road, you can lose your life or kill somebody. You know, you gotta watch that movie. Why are you watching that movie? You know, I pass people doing that all the time. And I've seen some people get clever. You know, they'll put it up here in their cluster gauge, and they'll put like a piece of paper or something like in their window, so that way you can't see what they're doing, but you know what they're doing. And I guarantee you DOTs knows what you're doing too. You know, don't be stupid. You know, I'll admit I've been guilty of doing that, but when I'm home what me and my son like to do is we like to watch YouTube a lot, and we'll watch, you know, trucker accidents or whatever. And it really helps you understand how quick something bad can happen. So I quit doing that a while ago. It's been a long time since I've been stupid enough to do that. But when you throw on an audiobook or a podcast, you just link it to your Bluetooth radio and you just listen. You pay attention to the road and you listen to a story. And every once in a while I'll get a phone call and I'll talk to somebody, but I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, like I said, you just get bored out here. And it really can. It gets so boring out here. I mean, right now there's snow all over me. And I know y'all can't really see it except for what's going on back here. But, you know, one day I hope to get some GoPros and give you some more angles to look at. You know, make my videos a little bit more entertaining to you. That way you don't have to look at my ugly face all the time. But that's my source of entertainment, because looking at all this snow and looking at these dumbass drivers, I mean, it just gets old. After a while you learn how to read the road. You know who's going to do what before they do it. And I've pretty much been all over the country by now. I'm missing a few northeastern states. So hopefully GP Transco will get me up there, and I can get me some. What I like to do is I collect snow globes and decorative plates of everywhere I've been. And I've got a lot, but I don't have all 48 yet. But I'll have them eventually. But anyway, what do you, as a truck driver or a hot shot, you know, those of you who run the blacktop, how do you entertain yourselves? What do you do? What's your fancy? What makes your day go by? So, comment down below what it is that helps your day go by faster. You know, I want to engage with y'all more. Some of y'all comment, and I'll comment back. You know, I like to engage with whoever's out there and finding my videos entertaining or informative. But what do y'all do? What entertains you? Let's make this a not about me video, but about you. So hit me up down below with what you like to do while you drive. And give me some ideas. If you listen to podcasts or if you got an Audible account, give me some ideas on some podcasts and books to listen to. You know, I like to keep a good variety. I might even try and give y'all an idea on what I listen to. I'll have to scroll through everything. But make it like a weekly review and see what we can come up with there. But give me some ideas on what it is you do and what interests you. And if you think it might interest me, let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to get into today. You know, nothing too crazy going on. It's just going down the road. But hit me up, guys, and I'll talk to you later.